Hey guys, welcome to the Lowdown Show, and in this video, I'll be reviewing Star Trek Discovery, Episode 11, Chakar, I believe. Now, I really enjoyed this episode. I mean, there's some good stuff that happened, we go with, at the beginning, we got the memorial service of Georgiou still, and you see Adora a little bit, and she's talking and being sad, and Nemec's like, oh, you have us, and she's obviously still talking about Gray, and Gray shows up, so, whatever, they kind of like getting a little fight or something, or makeup, and Nemec is like, if we were in that memorial service, I'll give you a piece of my mind, telling Gray. But they kind of make up, and then all of a sudden, Nemec gets the alert that there's somebody alive in the burn, and so Saru, he's like, oh yeah, it's the child, and everybody's like, what the heck? Because I guess the last episode, I don't know why, Saru knew that those markings were not radiation, but they were about a woman being pregnant for Kelpians, and I guess he didn't tell anybody, or he didn't correct them. So that was kind of like, what? Well, I guess, it's part of the storyline. So he goes there, he's like, come on, we gotta get there now. And they tell Van, and Van's like, okay, you're going too? Because Van expects something. And it's kind of weird because Van, I'm not sure. A lot of episodes, I feel like he's like going to be revealed like the bad guy. In the first season, I didn't even know Lorcan was going to be the bad guy. But this one is like, alright. And then a couple episodes, Van's like, it seems like he's really like part of the Federation and part of them. But this time, he's suspicious again. Just by his facial expressions, I guess the actor's, pretty good, I guess. I don't know if he's a bad guy or a good guy. Anyway, he's like, oh, Saru's like, I'm leaving, my acting captain, my number one, like acting captain Tilly. And he's like, gives like an eyebrow raise, like, okay, and you're going there too, and then you're Kelpian. So Van's right there, like a lot of red flags. But they get there, and then all of a sudden, they get into like a storm, some kind of, on the nebula, and Detner's like, the ship can't hold, we gotta get back out. And Saru's like, no, we gotta do this. And, so he got compromised, he wants to get the child. But Book, and I like Book, every time Book's in here, he definitely has a Han Solo scene. Book's like, I'll do it, my ship can separate apart and stuff. And Saru's like, good luck, do it. And he does it, and he goes, and he starts to get radiated a little bit. And they're talking to Book, and Book's like, I'm almost there. And he's all like, almost about to pass out. And it was a real good Han Solo scene. He's like, the way he acts, and Michael Burnham was concerned, obviously. But he manages to get in. He's like, I see the life form, and you can go in this area, it'll be fine. And then he gets out of there. He hits autopilot. So I mean, like I said, I like Book a lot and all the scenes. And so they find the place to go, and they decide that Michael wants to go because he's telling Book that Saru's kind of compromised now. And then Colbert wants to go. It's very interesting. I don't know why he wants to go, because I know he's saying like, oh, I'm the only one that's been alone, and maybe I'll know, how to help that person there. So that is really weird, but so they all go, and then they show up, and I kind of got spoiled that Saru is to be human, and they're in this hologram form. That's why in the trailer I saw Burnham in that red shirt. I'm like, well, what's going on here? And I couldn't even recognize Colbert. He's like, Saru's human, and Michael Burnham is a Shrill, and I forgot what Colbert was. Like, and I don't forgot what species, but they're looking around, and they quickly realize the whole ship is a hologram, and they're trying to figure it out, and they see the Kelpian, and they think he's a hologram, but he's actually like a full-grown man, but acts like a child, and he's like, are you another hologram? I've never seen you. It's kind of weird, and he's all scared when he hears the word outside, and he kind of walks away, not really runs, and they're like, no, we gotta go get him. I don't know why they just say, hey, stop, don't go. And so they're like, all right, he thinks he's in a hologram. We need to figure this out. Culver sees that door, like what's gonna go through that door. Obviously, they don't want it to come out, or he doesn't. And then back on the ship, we got Tilly, Captain Tilly, and she's telling the crew to, we need to exert power. We need to be ready. And then she gets in the okay, there's another ship coming, and she thinks they say Federation, but they won't respond with a code. So I was like, okay, it's kind of weird. And she's like, okay, well, we'll just I don't know why that ship's coming. We have no clue. But then we go back on the planet, and Colbert and Saru, they go off on their own to find out more about this place. They tell Michael Byrne to stay by that door. And what comes out that door is it's kind of weird. Some kind of weird monster. Kind of looks like a little bit out of Pirates of the Caribbean and Aliens. It looks kind of freaky actually. But it didn't do much. And Michael Burnham tries to make friends, and then she runs away. Then she falls. So I'm like, okay, think a hologram. And she follows, but then by that time she follows, and a guy, a Kelpian, finds her and says, "Are you a hologram?" And she's like, tries to play coy, like, "Yeah, I am. I'm a social one." And she's trying to figure out what his story is, but he's kind of like, "I've never seen a new one. It's been like 125 years, obviously." So she finds a little bit of information. Meanwhile, Saru and Colbert find like the first meeting of the Kelpians joining the Federation, and they find a little bit more information that the mother created this, program. Actually, they find that from the elder, Kelpian elder. So that was kind of cool. And obviously, Doug Jones, he's like being affected by all this, the character, and he's trying to figure out, where's the kid at? Where's the kid? And he finds the book the elder gives him, and the elder's like, oh, he always hides at this tower. And then by that time we go back again. So I mean, it's pretty cool, interesting stuff. That's why I like it so much. And then we go back to the ship, and 10 minutes away, Tilly finds out, okay, that's not Federation, and it's Osira, because the only person who wants to come way out here for the lithium on that planet that they still have, and the explore drive, is Osira, and she's a lot better than this one. And shout out to Janet Kidder, the niece of Margaret Kidder from Superman, the movies in 1970s, 79, and I she did a good job, and the banter between them was pretty cool, kind of cheesy a little bit, but it is Star Trek, and Tilly kind of gets the upper hand, we think, but Osira's like, well, fine. Well, I don't know why you're still here though. I'm figuring it out though, that you're captain not on that planet, huh? And she's like, oh snap. And then it wraps up. They go back on the planet. They find the tower. They find the kid, and the kid was really scared and putting up these weird-looking things to protect himself. And the monster comes back, and she screams, and I guess she caused her to burn. We're thinking, because it reacts a big old reaction chain to everything. Like even Discovery, the lithium starts to get all shaky. Stamets is like, oh no, this is getting crazy. It's almost like the burn again. And they find out Michael Burnham's like, the burn from him, the boy who screams. So Saru knows his lullaby and calms down the monster, and it goes away. And then the boy goes away again. And so they're like, oh, okay, I need to stay here. Saru, because Tilly's like, Sarah's here, we're getting attacked. We're about to get attacked, and Saru wants to go back. And Michael Burnham's like, no, you're compromised. You stay. I'm going back. And you're like, what the heck? And Colbert's like, I'm staying too. So that's like, what the heck? I mean, I guess medical attention. And by that time, Osira is about to, we know she's about to board the ship. They're escaped real quick. She's like, tell Janet, she's give me your badge. And I was like, oh. And looks like, I'm taking off now. Stall for a minute. And Tilly's still bantering a little bit. And she's like, tell me when both ships leave. And by that time, instantaneously, they tell her, but then she's like, "Black alert!" But then all of a sudden, Okada's henchmen and all that, they all get on board. They take over the ship. Samus, he can't do nothing. They grab him. They put a mind device on him because they know he's the sport driver. And he's like, "I won't do anything." And the henchman's like, "Oh, that's up to you." And there's a little more banter. Like I said, Okada was a lot better in this one, and Hilly, like, I'm not getting off the ship. I'm not getting off the, chair. And Okada's like telling Dentner and everybody should stop, don't move, take their comm badges. He should pull Hilly off, and she's like, "Oh man, it's not over." And Okada's like, "Oh, I think it is." So at that time, looks like getting Michael Burnham towards the end, and he finds Michael Burnham, and he's like, "Come on, guys, let's go." And he's beaming her up because they decided, like I said, for Saru and Cobra to stay behind. And Michael Burnham back in her normal suit. She's like affected by the radiation so much, and looks like, "Oh, where are the rest?" And they're like, "We're going back with them." And then he's like, "Well, she's snuck on board." Because Dara snuck on board, and she's like, "I got this medicine. I'm going." I was like, "Whoa, what the heck?" And Michael Burnham's like, "What?" So by that time, they're like, "Well, let's get back to the ship, Discovery." And by that time, they got Stamets. They got him to get into the sport drive, and the guy's like, "What do you say?" Usually, kind of making a hint, like, what do you get? Engaged and all these different sayings. But she's like, "Oh, fine, let's get out of here." And by that time, she goes. They all go. The sport drive and her ship goes with, and Michael Burnham's like, "No, it's too late." So that was a good cliffhanger. Like I said, I liked it. I mean, it was a lot to break down. Right now, probably one of the best this season episodes for me. I mean, it had a lot of action, a lot of new stuff, the champions. So finally, I mean, yeah, I like this one a lot. But that's my review on Star Trek Discovery. Let me know what you think, and please like and subscribe. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.